everybody, it's Mickey. Today's video is my fall 2024 home tour. You and I have decorated each of these rooms together, and I thought it would be such a great way to welcome the fall season by taking a look at what we've put together. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. The best way for any tour to start is in the foyer. This is what you see when you open my front door. We have a 2-story foyer in our home, and it's one of my favorite features of our house. When I decorate for a holiday or for a season, I always like to have a little inspiration piece to work off of. And for the fall season and into Halloween, I found this adorable art print from Paper House Prints of this witchy jack-o'-lantern that I just fell in love with. I love the colors and the feel of this art, and it's what I use to help me decorate my home for fall. As you can see, I'm a very traditional fall decorator. I love all of the oranges and browns, coppers, greens, burgundies of the season. I find that to me, these are the colors that truly represent fall, and they are the ones that I am always drawn to decorate my home. I have a pretty good collection of fall decor, so having a basic color scheme in mind really does help build a collection, and it gives you a lot of choices to pick from as you decorate. My living room is always an easy place to decorate for any holiday. The colors in here are just white, gray, and black, so adding a little seasonal color is so simple and has a really big impact because everything here is so neutral. The star of this room are always my typewriters. They get decorated for every season and every holiday. You know, I've always been a collector of something, and these typewriters are one of my favorite collections, and they are so well loved. If you remember early on in the season, we made this Pottery barn ghost dupe together. This was so simple, and I think it took us like maybe 10 minutes to complete. Since then, he's been living here on my little secretary's desk in the corner. I just think that it was such a simple and fun DIY to do with your kids. You can make like a whole army of these little ghosts and place them all over your house. This is a side of my living room that you really don't get to see very often. This is where I have my treasured grandma's sewing machine, and even it got a little color this year. I have a large basket of pine cones underneath with just a few small pumpkins on top. For the last few years, I have been completely decorating my dining room for Halloween at the beginning of the season. I just couldn't wait until October to pull out all of my fun Halloween things, and I thought the dining room was just the perfect place for it. We start off, of course, with my antique school desk, the chalkboard ghost DIY that we made last year using our Cricut. I have some really old yearbooks from my dad and my father-in-law, and the lanterns there I got this year on So the table this year I think is so fun. I bought 2 new Halloween garlands this year at Michael's that I just love. They are a cloth garland, which I think really do add so much color to wherever you put them. I also got a couple new Halloween plates that I found online, at a couple different places, but of course Amazon had the best price, so I'll be sure to leave a link to them down below for you. I thought that they were really bright and happy, and they were the perfect addition to the table. Now, my favorite thing on this Halloween table, of course, is my Rae Dunn Trick or Treat cauldron with the witch's hat on top. I just think that it's so funny that the witch's hat is actually a chip and dip dish that just happens to fit on top of the cauldron and just looks perfect. I just think that it is so cute, and the combination is the perfect centerpiece for the table. We decorated the china cabinet with that perfect felt ball garland that we found at Home Goods. And I always like to dress up my big old pine cone that my son brought me back from one of his hikes a few years back. I dressed it up with a big fluffy bow and a little hocus pocus sign that I found at the Target dollar spot. So underneath the china cabinet here is where I like to have some of my seasonal dessert plates. We often have like a late lunch and dessert here in the dining room during the season, and I just think that it's fun to have cute little plates to serve dessert on. I have a big collection, and some of the ones that I have here are from Crate & Barrel and the Target dollar spot. I have plates for almost every holiday. Now I also have my Joanna Parker Halloween tea set here, which I tracked down last year. I am so glad that I found it. I am such a big fan of Joanna Parker's art. I just think her things are adorable. I love her Halloween and Christmas pieces most of all. Now I also have my DIY gumball candy dishes here. These gumball machines were such a popular item from the Target dollar spot a couple years ago, and I just turned a couple of them into Halloween candy dishes to hold candy corn. Across from the china cabinet is my vintage door that holds a lot of family photos. I always like to have a wreath on this door, and for this season I have a very simple lamb's ear wreath that has a Joanna Parker candy corn sign in the middle, and I just made a big fluffy bow with some really cute Halloween ribbon that I found at Michael's. On the cabinet in the corner here, I've added some more pieces from my Joanna Parker collection. That small wooden pumpkin garland at the very top was a Target dollar spot find from probably like 6 or 7 years ago now. I bring this out every year. I wish the dollar spot would bring back more basic pieces like this that, you can keep and use every year. I thought we would take a quick trip to the powder room because I've also decorated it for Halloween. On the counter, I have this really tiny tiered tray that I probably picked up at the Target dollar spot. The sign on top I made a couple years ago using my Cricut. There's a little pumpkin candle. There's a witch's hat with some potion bottles, all from the Target dollar spot. Honestly, I think that it has been raining here in Virginia since the first day of fall, so I have all the lights on here in the family room in hopes that it is bright enough. The family room is always one of my favorite spots to decorate because it's just the place where we hang out as a family, and it's just fun to have it all dressed up for the season. There are so many good things in this room, especially here on the china cabinet. I'm going to try to leave as many links for you down below in the description box as I can. If I can't find the exact link, I will try to leave a link for something similar. Nothing much really changes with my fireplace throughout the year except at Christmas time. I just switch out some of the florals in the wreath above the mantle to bring it into the season. This year I added those wooden pumpkins to the candlesticks, and I always have my wooden bead garland underneath the mantle. For the fall, I just added the felt orange and gray pumpkin garland. I really do love lanterns, and I have two in this room that I've had for such a long time that I decorate for every season. Inside, I just have one of those little white houses that light up, and then I decorate the tops with bows and florals to match whatever season we're in. Kitchens in the fall seem to always be the coziest place in the house. There's always something good cooking on the stove, and at least in our family, it's truly where we spend the most time. We are what I like to call table sitters, so at every meal, we are at the table for at least 2 hours, just talking and laughing and spending time together. It is actually where some of my most favorite memories with my kids are growing up. Next to my retro family cookie jar is one of the only photos that I have of myself with all of my kids dressed up for Halloween. I was very much the picture taker in the family, so I am often on the opposite side of the camera. This is one of my most favorite pictures with my kids because Halloween, of course, was such a big deal for us. We had a Halloween party every year. We started putting our costumes together at the end of September. It was just always such a great time. I tell everybody that this little cabinet here in my kitchen is my all-time favorite purchase ever from Amazon. I had looked everywhere for a cabinet in all the furniture stores. Everything I came across was either too big, too expensive, or just not the right style. I randomly came across this cabinet and decided to take a chance on it and ordered it, and it was perfect. It basically holds part of my large Ray Dunn collection, and I always like to decorate the top of it for the holidays. I have another art print that I found at Paper House Prints. This one is of an adorable little ghost. My tiered tray here is all decorated with so many cute little Halloween things. I have a couple Ray Dunn pieces. I have some felt ghosts that I found at Home Goods, a big fluffy bow with a string of pumpkin lights. I really like my table this year. I think that it is very simple, but it really does give you all the fall feels. I love the checkered dinner plates with the white pumpkin salad dish. I really think that our centerpiece came out so good with the addition of some fall leaves and a few white pumpkins. I think it is so fun to decorate the kitchen for just about any season or holiday. There's so many little nooks and crannies that you can add a little bit of holiday fun to. Together we have decorated all the little nooks and crannies in this kitchen. My favorite is when you can add just a bow or some florals to what you already have to make decorating as simple as possible. I am really looking forward to the fall season ahead. I have so many fun videos planned for us. I had such a great response to the pantry video idea from a couple weeks ago that I have been busy working on that for next week. I have a vintage field trip planned for us. There's going to be a fall brunch that we have to cook and prepare for. There's so many new fall crock-pot recipes and freezer meal recipes that we are going to make together. And of course, there is much to prepare for the Thanksgiving and the upcoming holidays. This time of year for me is my favorite because not only do we have all of the holidays and celebrations to look forward to, it's those times with friends and family that are so important. This time of year, I thoroughly enjoy preparing for the holidays and the decorating the house and baking the cookies and doing the DIYs just to make the season that more full and fun. I hope that you will all be back to be a part of that with us. We are now a community of over 26,000, and sometimes I feel like we are just getting started. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you are most looking forward to this fall season. If there's anything special that you would like to see us do on the channel. If you are new here, I hope you will join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life. And please don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you all back as part of our growing YouTube family. Be sure to check the description box down below for any links that I mentioned in today's video. And until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, be kind to each other, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.